Hi, everybody. This is Kathy L. Murphy, and I'm reporting outside my little cabin in the woods, Murphy's Law, because it's such a gorgeous day. I'm in my Pulpwood Queen short sleeve t-shirt, and I just want to introduce you some of the authors that have just joined our book club and sent me books that Mandy Haynes and I both read for possible book club consideration. And this is for 2023 because 2022 picks are already selected that we announced at our annual book club convention, and they're up on our website, www.thepulpwoodqueens.com. So I'm going to begin with sharing the books that are coming up. The first one is Monkey Business, a novel by Carlton Eastlake. And it's got an outstanding cover. It's set in Florida. And when William Fox, a TV writer on location in Florida, is dragged by his show's toxic producers to a gentleman's club that just appeared outside town, he meets Nicole, a mysterious dancer who claims to be an anthropologist searching for signs of rational life on Earth. Enchanted by her both playful and serious ideas, exploring love, limerence, power, monkey behavior, paintball conflict, creativity, and the dilemma of a rational mind compelled to serve an animal body by feeding it fantasies, Will falls in love, and his ever more troubled love-struck behavior and the acidity's destructive battles amongst his producers and network executives during the production of his show soon begin to illustrate Nicole's theories. Carl Hyacin, make way for Carlton Eastlake. Monkey Business is a brash, lovely hero's journey and wicked fun from start to finish. This is by Julia Glass, National Book Award winner. So check out Monkey Business, a novel by Carlton Eastlake. Next up, we have Alone in the Night, a book by Benjamin W. Bass. It has here, it won the Military Writers Society of America Gold Medal Award, and it's a novel. This story is Mr. Bass has written an emotional and compelling first book about war, love, and the aftermath. The amount of detail in this book transports the reader to the battlefield and to the classroom back home after the fight is over. As a strong supporter of veterans, I believe this is one of the most important books I've read the past few years in illustrating the challenges that they face after returning home from war. This is Nicholas Sansbury Smith, New York Times and USA Today bestselling author of Orbs, Trackers, Helldivers, and Extinction Cycle. So we have Alone in the Night, a novel by Benjamin W. Bass. Next up, we have Barbed, a memoir by Julie Morrison. Yes, it is standing at a professional crossroads. Julie Morrison decides to saddle up and start over. Her family's ranch is on the brink of bankruptcy. While fighting for its future, she simultaneously seeks to salvage her marriage and rediscover her best self. When you ride across the rock-strewn terrain of a family-owned horse and cattle business, though, a gritty challenge awaits along the trail to every panoramic view. Entangled in the barbs of ranching and relationships, Julie will never meet cold-hearted cowboys and funny farmers. Learn how to ranch one-handed and become an expert in assessing what's essential. This is a romance in which the objects of devotion are hardworking horses and iconic Western vistas, where hope and horseshoes harmonize and help arrives from most unlikely places. Julie's journey of personal discovery will inspire readers to blaze their own trails to a future only they can create. Barbed, a memoir by Julie Morrison. Next up, we have Debu Manjumar, Night Jasmine Tree, a bittersweet stories of an Indian youth. It's a contemporary novel of caste, conflict, and immigration. Well, Night Jasmine Tree, after his father discovers him over a forbidden love with a lower caste girl, Shankar, consumed by anger, marries her anyway and immigrates to the US to start a new life, completely cutting himself off from his family in India and vowing never to speak of them again. Now in retirement, as he tells stories from his childhood to his grandchildren, they generate the double-edged effect of a charming his um, grandchildren, and at the same time raking up suppressed unhappy memories. These arresting stories of his life reveal the silent torment and struggle that originated with his extremely conservative family and grow more crushing every day. These stories, touching and sublime by themselves, provide the structure of this novel, showing unfulfilled promises, dereliction of family responsibility, and missed opportunities that exacerbate Shankar's anguish. Will the past destroy him? And here's a picture of the author. So, Night Jasmine Tree, Bittersweet Stories of an Indian Youth by Debu Manjumdar. Next up, we have Annabelle Monaghan's Nora Goes Off Script. Yes, this looks really good. It's my uncorrected proof. As a romance channel screenwriter, Nora Hamilton knows the formula for love better than anyone. But then her too good to work husband leaves her and their two kids, and Nora turns her marriage collapse into cash, writing the best script of her life. When it's picked up for the big screen and set to film in her home with former sexiest man alive, Leo Vance, cast as her ex-husband, Nora's life will never be the same. After shooting rats, Nora finds Leo on her porch with a half-empty bottle of tequila and a proposition. He'll pay $1,000 a day to stay for a week. She could use the money, but it's the need in his eyes that makes her say yes. 7 days. It's the blink of an eye or an eternity, depending on how you look at it. Enough time to fall in love, enough time to break your heart. Woo, intrigue. Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. Check it out. Another one of our authors we're going to be reading. Now we have interesting cover, A Judgment Day and Other White Lies by Mike Hilbig. Yes, this comes from Madville Publishing, and I've been hearing about it. The stories in Judgment Day and Other White Lies is quintessentially Mike Hilbig, his deft artistic imagination, work and play. The stories engage in kind of romantic evolution, but Hilbig's is a post-romantic strategy design, both to turn the natural into the supernatural and the supernatural into the natural, and to deconstruct, destabilize the romantic experiment, a postmodern impulse I believe Coleridge himself would find deeply compelling. These are stories underpinned by wisdom and humor, which are simultaneously a powerful cultural critique, a call for a reckoning. This was from Robert Davidson, author of Aluminum Stories and Poet Laureate of Houston, Texas. So very cool cover. I love the art. Mike Hilbig, Judgment Day and Other White Lies. Next up, we have Amit Verma, A Quiver in the Purlieu. A book flies away as soon as it's completed, defining a pivotal point in the life arch of the protagonist. This life arch also features a banyan tree growing in Canada, a bar in semi-rural USA, a sliver of time in an idyllic, isolated village in India, a bored millionaire playing the stock market, a comic book princess, and an interstellar spaceship journey. And all of this takes place in a universe that's ever expanding. Wow. Another one from Madville Publishing by Amit Verma. Boy, I'm going to be reading a lot of great books. Next up is The Puppeteers Daughters by Heather Newton. It's a new novel from the award-winning author of Under the Mercy Trees. Famed puppeteer and master manipulator Walter Gray surprises his three daughters by announcing there is a fourth on his 80th birthday party. An incomplete paternity test, a will that places a condition on each daughter's inheritance, suggests that the missing daughter isn't a figment of his dementia. The three sisters each knew a different version of their enigmatic father. Don't we all? But they all grew up in the presence of fairy tales acted out with marionettes and shadow puppets. If they are to find the fourth daughter and claim the legacy their father has left them, the sisters must confront their fractured relationships with their father and each other. Infused with fairy tales that would occasionally spill magic into the sisters' real lives, The Puppeteer's Daughter is a stunning woven family saga about the cost and rewards of creating a creative life. The Puppeteer's Daughter by Heather Newton, a novel. Next up is Geographies of the Heart by Caitlin Hamilton Summey. Here we go. Sarah McMillan always puts her family first, but can't quite hold on to everyone. Her career-minded younger sister, Glennie, their grandparents slowly fading, or a pregnancy Sarah desperately wanted. It's her tumultuous relationship with Glennie that makes Sarah the loneliest. She's always believed that their relationship was foundational, even unbreakable. Though blessed with a happy marriage to Al, whose compassion and humor she admires, Sarah grows increasingly bitter about Glennie's absences until one decision forces them all to decide what family means and who family is. Narrated by the chorus of their three voices, this elegantly told novel examines the pull of tradition, the power of legacies, and the fertile but fragile ground that is family, the first geography to shape our hearts. Caitlin Hamilton Summey's Geographies of the Heart. Wonderful cover. Next up, we have Lawn Darts and Lemonade. This is by Stephen Manchester, which we all know. It's the summer of 1984, a season of dodging lawn darts and chugging lemonade, or at least the discolored tap water Ma tried to disguise as lemonade. Growing up is never easy, no matter what era you do it in. For generations, teenagers have suffered peer pressure, bullying, fear of rejection, and a sadistic obstacle course of one unexpected challenge after the next. Three brothers, Wally, Herbie, and Cockroach, learned that the past can be filled with questions, even shame and regret. While the future might be shrouded in worry and fear, but staying in the moment, now that's where the sweet spot is. Lawn Darts and Lemonade. Now this is an advanced galley by Stephen Manchester. He's a national best-selling author. Oh boy, let me get this out. Regenerations for Six, a novel by Lindsay J. Palmer. Interesting cover. Okay. Her new novel, Lindsay J. Palmer, Reservations for Six, chronicles modern marriage and midlife with heart, wit, and deep insight. Reservations for Six captures a decade-long tradition among a tight-knit group of friends. On everyone's birthday, the three couples gather to celebrate at their favorite New England restaurant. Nathan is the first to turn 40, and when the cake arrives, he makes a shocking announcement. The birthday ritual and the relationships will never be the same again. Confessions follow and secrets get revealed. One couple's crumbling marriage forces the others to re-examine their own marriages and the fault lines that lurk beneath. Will their bonds be strong enough to survive issues like infidelity, infertility, and waning passion, plus a series of crises that push each relationship to the brink? The answers may prove surprising. A year after Nathan's big declaration at dinner, the group gathers for a final birthday celebration, leaving every person, every relationship, and hopefully every reader fundamentally changed. Well, this sounds like an awesome book. So, Reservations for Six, a novel by Lindsay J. Palmer. Jana Zonder, Magenta Rave. Judges let them off. Prisons can't hold them. Only Magenta Rave can redeem their wicked souls. Prisons are releasing violent sex offenders early. Magenta Rave, disguised and distraught, tracks them down and punishes them with a wrath that is downright biblical. Detectives assigned to the case don't know if they're chasing one woman or a dozen. Witness descriptions vary wildly from one crime scene to the next. The investigation leads detectives to a sexual assault survivors therapy group. Could one of these damaged women be Magenta? Magenta Rave is a thinker's thriller for people who are unafraid to view the world without rose-colored glasses. It exposes the crime of sexual abuse and with courage and humor. The plot will keep you guessing as it gathers speed and careens relentlessly towards the startling conclusion. Here's a little photo of the author, Jana Zonder. Magenta Rave. Okay. Next up, we have Grand Openings Can Be Murder by Amber Royer. Felicity Colber has had a rough year. She's moving back to Galveston Island and opening a bean to bar chocolate factory, fulfilling a dream she and her late husband, Kevin, had shared. Craft chocolate means a chance to save the world, travel the world, meeting with farmers and bringing back beans that she can turn into little blocks of happiness right close to home and family. So this is first in a series, Bean to Bar Mystery Number 1, Grand Openings Can Be Murder by Amber Royer. And last, I just want to share an author who's on our list this year, but I just got his book. I thought I had it, but I didn't have it. And I just want to tell you that J. Lawrence Matthews is the author of One Must Tell the Bees. Kirkus Story Reviews has said it is a bracing storytelling, and it's Abraham Lincoln and the final education of Sherlock Holmes. President Lincoln is assassinated in his private box at Ford's. When those harrowing words ring out during a children's entertainment in Washington on the evening of April 14th, 1865, a quick-thinking young chemist from England named Johnny Holmes grads Tad Lincoln, the 12-year-old son of the dying president. He races the boy to safety and soon finds himself enlisted in the most infamous manhunt in history. One Must Tell the Bees is the untold story of young Holmes' journey from the streets of London to the White House of Abraham Lincoln and his breathtaking pursuit of John Wilkes Booth in the company of freed slave Abraham. It is the very first case of the man who would become known to the world as Sherlock Holmes. And as readers will discover, it will haunt him until his very last. At a time when Western history is being re-examined and retold, old heroes cast aside and statues torn down, and even the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator, is questioned. One Must Tell the Bees is a timely reminder that our history deserves to be understood before it is entirely undone. Here's a photo of J. Lawrence Matthews. And I am so excited. I started reading this last night. It's on our list, everybody, for 2022. The rest, Mandy and I will be reading for 2023. So keep the books coming because I'm back reading again and I'm reading a lot and I'm on a mission to keep ahead of the game this year because we got over 1,000 books last year. It was really difficult. So thank you for sending in your books. If you don't know how to do that, go to our author member page at www.thepulpwoodqueens.com, and it will tell you exactly what to do to send your book to us to be considered for possible selection for 2023. The books will need to be sent to both Mandy Haynes, my executive director who lives in Florida, and to me, Kathy L. Murphy, who lives in East Texas. And we read the books, we confer, and we pick what we think is the best of the best for our books for the coming year for Book of the Month, International Book of the Month, and bonus books of the month. So send us your books. Author members, we do read your books first because when you're invested in our book club, like my readers are invested in you, we put you at the top of the pile. So thank you for joining me. This is a lot of information, and I hope I'm going to be doing this all the time now so that all the authors know that I do get your books. If you did not see my book there, I either haven't gotten it yet or it may have been lost in the mail. So contact me at thepulpwoodqueen@gmail.com. And I do no longer send to my post office box because I no longer go into town to pick up the mail due to COVID. Look at the address on our website. Again, www.thepulpwoodqueens.com. Thank you for joining me for a little taste of the books that we're reading for 2023. And as always, as I tell everybody, it's all about the story. Keep them coming. Thank you so much.